Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith and the Black Channel here at Ticker Talker, and we are coming into a little bit of a sleepy market here as we come into the long weekend here in the United States. We're closed here on Monday, and so with the market's just skirting all-time highs or going into all-time highs, big boys don't really need to be here, right? So a lot of these guys probably halfway to the Hamptons because that's what I'd be doing. Anywho, you got this inside 60 for the SPY. We're starting off a new month, and so we've got a jobless claims number coming out in the morning. Uh, Probably non-event. As you can see, we've just been continually walking. Now we have these inside 60s, though, maybe give us something. Like I was calling it this morning, a headless chicken market. Not a lot going on, so just things going back and forth. If you go to QQQ, also inside on the 60, you can see these last two ranges just doing nothing, right? Just stuck up in here. But we start off a new month, right? And so we do take out we do not take up the highs and the Qs, just kind of stalling out, waiting for the new month. If we go to the diamonds, here, trying to take that outside day here in the upper left to the upside, all right? So also inside on the 60, inside stock. So the question is on this monthly, which side of this month do we take out? That's what we're going to want to know on these monthlies. Most things are closer to taking out last month's highs since we're at the highs. So there's that. If you go to the small cappers, here, stuck as an inside week after last month, trying to go take that rev strat here, that inside bar poke down goes up a little bit, but also inside on the 60s. So for the next hour, I want to know about all these inside 60s. And so one of the things that I've shown you before, we're going to do it again, is when you run scans, right? Just tell you what's going on in the market. So what I want to know going forward, like we're always monitoring the 60s dailies and weeklies, but for the bigger moves, we want to understand the monthlies. And so if you look at the monthlies and scan by volume here, who's taking out last month's highs, right? And so you're going to see this. You're going to see Nvidia still going, right? SWBI, Conoco, that tells me some energy with COG. Nike still going. Fang, that's more energy, right? LB got some retail in there. Let's see. Amgen, so you got some bio, XEC, more energy. That's telling me CLR, more energy. Lennar Home Builders. And then if you go to the downside, see this. Walgreens and a list of nobodies. NVCR. So far, the break is to the upside, or the continuation, I should say. So if we take that down, and so one of the things we had this morning is crude. Crude gaps up, starting to come in also inside on the 60, which is the indicative of the sleepy market that we're seeing here. But what that did do is get like XLE gap and sit. So one inside in the 60 and trying to get up here, trying to get something going. Still an inside week, so we're aware of that, all right? And if you go to OIH here, inside on the 60 again. So for the next hour, I'm going to see if we can get over 228.07 here and see if that can get anything going. On the weekly, you're going to see this. Inside week pokes down but comes back in. So potential rev strat week to the upside, OIH, if you want to start coming into some energies. You had like OAS here having a nice day going towards the highs here, and you can see how nicely this thing's been driving. And we saw that on the scan. Fang here, Fang Energy after last month's inside to the upside, trying to continue that. So you can keep an eye on some of these energies. We'll see if they want to keep going. A lot of them just kind of gapping and sitting, as you just saw. So we'll see. If we go to Home Builders, XHB, and XHB inside week to the upside. Home Builders, it's inside day here. Not quite an inside day. That was two up, two down here. And we just saw Lennar on the scan here, taking out last month's highs. This gets my attention because this is an outside month, right? When you poke that down and take that back up, our target is to go take this thing out. And that's going to be for the rest of the month. If Lennar's over 101.39, that's something I'd want to know about. Also taking that inside week, an inside day to the upside, Lennar. So you can just go poking around, see what else is in there. DHI also coming up. Got some room on that month. Nice inside day to the upside, though. LGIH. Also, taking the inside week to the upside, got some room on that monthly. Is going to be an issue though, so we'll see how that goes. Looks like Fang Energy goes to the highs as I speak. There you go. If we go to XLV, and XLV taking out last month's highs, that's good. As you can see on the daily, you go 2 up, 2 down, and boom, off she goes. I think we got a little bit of Johnny John going on there. Not really ripping, but you see the inside week to the upside. We'll see. And on the 60, takes out the high, then takes out the low. So if we can take out the highs of this hour after that closes out, that'll get my attention in Johnson & Johnson. If we go to Regeneron, and Regeneron, remember we were looking at this yesterday because of this. 2 down and then back through this previous range, right? These 2 became an outside bar of that, and now these 3, an outside bar of that, you see? And that's how you gauge your magnitude, back and forth. Broadening formations, take out highs, take out lows, and go back and take out the highs. If they're willing to pay up and sell down, they might do it again, and they did. Regeneron, thank you. If we go to UTHR, and UTHR, this just has my attention here. Let's see, is that a lower low? Here, because we're getting the new month, and so it gapped up and then sat for a month and then comes in. So if we can take this out, this will get my attention here over 186.70. It's starting to poke up just a little bit, having a nice little day here, so we'll see if we can get that. You got a little more room on that. If you go to Bio, B-I-O, we can see this, what we look for on the daily. 2 up by taking out the previous high, 2 down, and then boom, these 2 become an outside bar of that, right? And if that works, we're going to take out this outside month to the upside, 647.96, and it does that because when it sold down here and then went back green, this selling was rejected, and anytime we're above this, that means that selling is still being rejected. If you go to AMED, and here's a nice combo for you too, because here, the 2 down, boom, back to the previous range on the daily. And if that works, here's your inside week to the upside. And if that works, you go here to the monthly. 2-2 back up over 263.63, so you got a little bit more room for that monthly. Early in the month, though, if we go to MRIN, remember yesterday, look at that. The inside day, and goes blasting off. Now you're going to get stuck in here. But it did its job. Its magnitude was to try and take this out, which it did. And now it comes back in and stalls out on the 60. If we go back to the QQQ, Q's still a little heavy here on the inside 60, so we'll see how that goes. If we go to PLSE, please, and that comes back in. So you always get worried when you have a big range and you get stuck in the middle of it. We call that a mother bar. You do have the inside month to the upside to keep an eye on for the rest of the month. But how are you going to get outside of this? We'll see. If we go to new issue YOU, YOU, having a nice little day, and just second day on Earth, but having a nice range. We'll see if that sets up again. Just watching these Q's getting closer to failing here, and I'll get to that in just 1 second. GDYN. And GDYN, nice 2 down, boom, reversal. But let's get to some of the sellings, because you got the SMH going 2-2 on the daily to start off the new month, right? And now trying to take the inside 60 to the downside. Being led the charge is MU, and coming back to the previous range, 2 up by taking out the previous high, and then boom, coming right back down. Starting off the new month with full time frame continuity to the downside. MU having some problems, and that's going to tell us to go on down the line. LRCX having some issues. NVIDIA was your exception. We'll see how that's doing now. I guess NVIDIA, we saw that on that scan that I just showed you. If we go to NVCR, NVCR having all sorts of trouble here, and you can see on this gap here coming back to this previous range, we call that pivot machine gun. Anybody long is long against a bunch of these pivots, booms, take them out in one shot. The question is going to be weak enough to come all the way through. You can see on the weekly here we took out all this stuff. The question is going to be weak enough for here. But for the rest of the month, it's Rev Strat month, so long as it's below this. Inside bar, pokes up into exhaustion, and boom, as soon as it broke this, 197.70, right? You can see that. and it went through it. So if you pulled that up, you would have seen this right there, and you could nail it right there. And then we'll see for the rest of the month NVCR. If you go to our old buddy Palantir, and Palantir having a day looking to go outside week here. Remember, it was RevStrat month, and it just kind of took these guys out, but didn't have too much more in the tank. So we'll see if it wants to come back through this range like so. Having some issues there. We saw on the scan too, Walgreens. And Walgreens is taking out last month's lows. And you can see that's taking out 3 months of lows, right? So that's going to be a 2 down on the quarter. That gets my attention, right? But once again, mother bar issues. Once you have an inside bar and you're stuck in a big range like this, oftentimes price discovery will start over again in here and you get trapped in there. So be careful of that. If we go to AYI. AYI was on the gapper up list, but came all the way back. Puke. Now, going after this inside month to the downside below 176.63. You're almost there, and that could spell more trouble for this thing coming back through here, AYI. If we go to TSP, and just a little profit takey after a nice run here. Opening is an inside month. Once again, a big range in there. But to start off the month, look at this. The 2 up, and boom, right here, 2-2 reversal. Below 69.01, trading 63.71 right now, trying to go inside and down off the 60. So for the next hour, has my attention below 64.27. If we go to CVS with the Walgreens, going after that month, here you can see the inside month below 82.33. You're almost there, and trying to go RevStrat 1 bar on the weekly. Inside week pokes up, but then changes continuity by going red. Boom, looking to take that out. If we go to Splunk. And Splunk just starting off the new month and everything down and red on the week. So trying to take this thing out inside 60 to the downside. We call this Momo shooter, right? Anybody got suckered into here? Well, guess where their stops are? Here and here. Boom. And they ran into real selling because we're red on all time frames. If we go to VERV. And VERV's new issue just was having a nice week and all that, just looking for a little profit takey here. And you see that? 2 up, 2 down below this. Reversal below 57.92. So right now trying to come up on the 60, inside 60, trying to recover. So in the next hour, if you can take this out, you'd RevStrat back down. So at this point below 55.34, but right now it's rallying back. If we go to PRTS. And PRTS here now trying to recover. Had a nice 2-2 reversal here. All right, still inside month but red. So good thing about something like this is when you have something this volatile moving around, you can take this. 60 is a major signal, and that's why we're always concentrating on the new 60s here, because you can do the bottom pickage for the 1869, now up to 1893. We'll see. If we go to Tiger. And Tiger, just inside day to the downside. Once again, pivot machine gun. Anybody long as long as that and that and that. These guys, boom. So Tiger gets hit right out the chute. Right now, we're looking at DOIH firming up off that inside 60 like I just pointed out. How's XOP? XOP did the 60 last hour and now continuing. XLE. And XLE did that inside to the upside. How about our Nurgu? There you go. NRGU on the gap list. Inside 60 to the upside over 185.50. Trading 186.59. So we'll see. One more downside for the memers. You got Wish still coming in here. So looking for an outside week here to take out one side and then come all the way through. Wish having some problems. But sleepy market here, folks, so be aware of that coming into a holiday and a jobless claims number. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith Black Channel here at Ticker Talk with Strat Tech. Strat Time Report. All right.